Let's wholesale real estate. We're gonna wholesale real estate. If you wanna wholesale real estate, then you are in the right place. You don't need no money, you don't need no credit. It's so simple that anyone can get it. Luke's gonna teach you just how to get started. All you have to do is learn and apply it. You are in the right place. You're gonna wholesale real estate. You're gonna wholesale real estate. So let's get started. Hello, beautiful people. I am your host, Luke Madeus, and welcome to the School of Wholesaling. On this show, you're going to learn how to wholesale real estate without using any money or credit. If you want to learn how you can make profits wholesaling real estate wherever you are on the right show. So pay attention because class is in session. Let's wholesale real estate. We're gonna wholesale real estate.
What's going on, beautiful people? Sak passe, nabule, and welcome back to another episode of School of Wholesaling, also known as SOW Real Estate. I am your host, Luke Madeus. Welcome back again for another episode, y'all. Listen, now is the best time in history to jump in the real estate game. Now is the best time. It just is. There's so much opportunity out there for you to be able to make money and build wealth. No matter what you see on the headlines, honestly, in my honest opinion, the worse the headlines are, the greater the opportunity is. Why is that? Because as history has proven, when stuff hits the fan and the economy starts to shake and things get crazy, that is when there is always opportunity for every one of us to increase our wealth and be able to make way more money. And so in real estate, that opportunity is right in front of our face, right? I want to be very clear on something. It's always a great time to get started in real estate. It's always a great time to be in the real estate industry. The thing is, it's not always a great time to do every strategy in real estate, okay? Some strategies come with a tremendous amount of risk and can put you in a very ugly situation that you'd rather not be in, which is why I'm here to talk to you today about how you can start real estate with zero risk. Let me ask you something. If you could absolutely make 6 figures a year or more, if you start up a real estate business that'll earn you 6 figures a year or more, and you took zero risk, and it's a zero risk business, would you do it? Would you figure it out? Would you learn what you need to know? What you need to know? Would you learn what you need to know? What would you do? Would you take all the action? If someone gave you the plan to do that, would you take all the action necessary for you to be able to for you to be able to generate results? What would you do? I'm here to tell you that I have that strategy. You're listening to the show, School of Wholesaling, okay? I'm going to talk to you today about how you can start your real estate business with zero risk. I'm going to break down, okay, my zero risk model and how I help people do deals the smart way. Number one, I think it's important that we talk about what risk actually looks like, so you have a clear idea and a clear understanding of why the model I'm going to give you is a way better model, and it actually is zero risk. Okay? Now, I want you to do this. Do me a favor. As I'm sharing information on today's episode, if you find something valuable, I want you to screenshot the image, share it on your Instagram, tag me in your Instagram story, and put up what you got from it. What was your biggest takeaway? And if you're interested, after I share with you how this works, if you're interested in learning more, then I encourage you to join me in my masterclass, my live free online masterclass, where I'm going to be breaking down more of this in detail, right? But I want you to understand this, that in real estate investing, in the real estate industry, risk comes from having deeds. I want to make sure this is very clear. I have had the God given um blessing and opportunity to have closed on over $11.5 million worth of real estate, and I'm talking about deeds.
And I'll be honest, it comes with a lot of risk, y'all. It comes with a lot of risk. You got to really know what you're doing. The minute you take a deed, you got risk. Because if anything goes wrong, you're on the hook for it, right? And there's no getting out until the house is sold. And so, of course, as long as it's an investment for you, that's one thing. And if it's your own personal house, that's another thing. All that is great. But you have to know and understand that when you are taking on deeds, you're taking on risk. If you get into if you're doing a flip and it doesn't go right, you could potentially lose a lot of money. It can 100% happen. If you're getting a rental, you can definitely be in a situation where you lose money. Okay, you could have a bad tenant. You have to evict them. Then you gotta, if they tear up your house, you gotta repair it. I mean, you can 100% be in a situation you don't want to be in. Right? There's risks involved with both of those things. However, the key is mitigating the risk, right? But what I want to talk to you about today is not risk mitigation. I want to talk to you about having a business model where there is absolutely zero risk whatsoever for you. Okay, and this is the business model where you do not take deeds. Okay, this is the business model where you literally get paid, all right, for never owning a house, for never having to lift a hammer, for never having to do anything except for connecting people together. Now, that might sound like a realtor, right? Now, realtors are totally different from wholesalers. Okay, but even with realtors, being a realtor is, I mean, it could be considered a zero risk model to be in the real estate industry, because you're not actually taking, you're not actually buying any property. You're not actually risking money on real estate investments, right? And so that is technically another model. However, being a realtor, comes with fees and licenses and regulation and all this other stuff, right? You have to pay to be a realtor every single year. You got realty fees, you got dues, you got fees with your broker depending on who you're with. You've got fees with if you want to have a super lockbox, right? You got fees for that. I mean, there's just fees for the MLS, right? There's just fees, 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 fees. But with this other model, the only fees you have are the fees that are tied to you running your business. Okay, so your systems, your marketing, things like that. And so I want to share with you, I'm gonna break it down. It's very simple. Okay, what this model is, right? So in every market cycle, doesn't matter if we're in a buyer's market or seller's market, this strategy always works. It is 100% recession proof, and it is 100% zero risk when you do it the right way. Okay, so flipping contracts, also known as wholesaling, is the zero risk way to making money in real estate. All right, that is the way that you make money with absolutely zero risk. Okay, so how do we do that? All right, so if you've been listening to the show, you already know the basic process of how to do this, right? The whole goal is that we're finding properties at a discount, and then we're going to pair up those properties with an investor who's willing to pay more. Okay, and we're going to make the margin in between. That's the whole thing in a nutshell. The reason why the reason why it is recession proof is because as long as there are investors to serve, you will always have an opportunity to make money. As long as sellers are selling property and investors are buying property, you will always have an opportunity to make money. That's number one. Number two, the reason why it's 100% zero risk, when it is done right, I'm going to be very clear. When you do it right, because there's a way to do it wrong, and you're risking something, but you're still not risking nearly as much, not even a tenth, not even 1% as much as what you'd probably be risking actually buying a property, flipping it, and renting it out. Okay, and that is when it comes times for you to put your earnest money deposit down, right? So with this strategy, when you find a property at a discount, you have to put that property under contract, right? So when you put a property under contract, you have to put what's called earnest money deposit down to open up escrow. Okay, this could be $100, $250, $500. I mean, it could be 3,000, 5,000, 10,000, 20,000. Whatever's agreed upon is usually what it's going to be, right? And so that is technically money that is at risk at the time that you put the property under contract. Now, when you do this right, the right way, you're gonna make sure that you have an opportunity to inspect the property. This is a standard right to every buyer, okay? That you have a right to inspect the property. Okay, so give yourself some time, 10 days, 15 days, give yourself some time to inspect the property. What you're doing during the inspection period is you're just making sure that the property is a good fit. You're making sure that this deal is a good deal for you. And if it isn't, it is your right to terminate the contract as long as it is before the inspection period. You have a right to change your mind, okay, and say, you know what, this house really isn't a great fit for me, and it doesn't work for me. I'm going to walk away, or we can renegotiate the terms or price, whatever that needs to happen, or we could just, or I'm going to walk away and we just cancel, right? So understand that whenever you are within your inspection period and you cancel a contract, you cancel a transaction, as long as it is in your contract, you will get the earnest money deposit back. That is standard practice. You'll get your earnest money deposit back. So your earnest money deposit really is never at risk until you pass your inspection period date, which at that point it is assumed that you are going to finish the deal. You're going to complete the deal. You're going to close it. And if you don't close it, now your earnest money deposit's at real risk. Okay, now you actually got real skin in the game that you may possibly lose. Now, again, still not as big of a risk as flipping a house, because your average normal earnest money deposit in our industry is about maybe $100, right? $250. Something considered decent is like, hefty a little bit, is $500, right? So that's not a lot of money. Would you rather, if the opportunity was worth it, and you looked at this deal, and you're like, man, you know what? I think I know I can make this happen. And you put the $500 at risk, and you took the whole 30-day time period to make a deal happen, right? At the end of the day, worst case scenario, you lose $500. But if you were flipping a house and you bought the house and you took a loss, I mean, we're talking about thousands of dollars. And the longer you hold on to that property, the more it's costing you money, right? Ask me how I know this. I've been there. I've done that. Okay, I've closed on $11.5 million, over $11.5 million of real estate. I've been there. I've done that. So I'm telling you, I've tried so many things. And the one thing that is actually zero risk and recession proof, the one thing that has made me money ever since 2016, over and over and over again, year after year after year, regardless of what the market looked like, that where I got to leverage the least amount of money and honestly run a business with the least amount of headache, it's wholesaling. Flipping houses can become a headache. There's a lot that you've got to do in order to do it. It's fun in the beginning, and it's still fun now, right? But you have to be very careful when you're doing this. You got to make sure that you have your ducks in a row, your I's dotted, your T's crossed, and you have to make sure you are super conservative, because things can go wrong. The market can shift, and now a flip needs to turn into a rental. And if you're not in a position to do that, it's going to be real ugly for you, right? And depending upon how you finance the deal, it can be really ugly for you. So just know there is really only one recession-proof, zero-risk real estate strategy, and it's the one that I teach you right here on this show, okay? And that's wholesaling real estate. So listen, that is how you do deals the smart way. And I help people do deals the smart way. I help them start and launch their real estate wholesaling business, which does a couple of things for them. Number one, it gives them a money-making strategy that comes with very, very low risk. Number two, it sets them up to be able to negotiate their wealth when they actually do want to buy property for them to invest in. Number three, it consistently will keep you out of the mercy of the market, and you will have the control and power to literally create your own wealth and create your own revenue, profits, all of that right at your fingertips with, honestly, not a whole lot of money. It doesn't cost a whole lot of money to run a business like this. You can do very well starting out with just $500 a month. And that's what I teach people how to do, y'all. So listen, I hope that this has been valuable for you. I hope that you love this episode. If you do, you know what to do. Okay, you know what to do. Like it. Okay, subscribe, follow it, share it, leave a review on the show. Let me know. Okay, and most importantly, if you are ready to learn what is working right now, if you want my help to help you put together and launch your zero risk real estate business, okay, your real estate wholesaling business, go and register for my free web class. I'm breaking it all down, all right, with zero risk. Zero risk, and you can do this from anywhere around the world. I am going to show you how to do that. All right, so that's it for today's episode. I hope that you are having a wonderful day. I hope that you end the day strong. And until next time, I'm Luke Madeus. Au revoir.
If you have enjoyed this episode of School of Wholesaling, also known as SOW Real Estate, subscribe to this show and share this show. And most importantly, leave your review. Leave a review. I want to know what you really think. Let me know how I can improve. What do you want me to do more of? Let me know so that way I can continue to deliver to you a great show. If you're interested in receiving my personal assistance to help you launch a zero risk, recession-proof real estate business that can help you thrive right now and in any market, visit SOWcontent.com. That is SOWCONTENT.com and join my free web class right now where I show you exactly how to do that. I want to help you launch your real estate business. I want to help you close your first deal, and I want to help you grow your business. I've got all the tools. I know all the people. I've got all the resources. All you need to have is the determination, consistency, and drive. And if you can promise me that, I can promise you results. Let's get to work.